Well, the cat's out of the bag, or the keys are in the ignition, whatever you want to call it. I'm very excited to be here and do my first official solo RV Queens podcast episode to introduce myself and let you guys know a little bit more about me and where RV Queens is going, and more importantly, why you need to be a part of this awesome community, because I'm so happy to be an RV Queen that I think everyone deserves the opportunity to be a part of this amazing group. But let's dive into a little bit about the why. Welcome to the RV Queens podcast, where adventure meets the open road. I'm your host, Charlie Grace, rolling through life 1 mile at a time, sharing stories, interviews, tips, and real talk about RV living, travel, and the freedom to chase your own version of home. Whether you're a full-time RVer, a weekend warrior, or just RV curious, you're in the right place. So buckle up, grab your favorite drink, and let's hit the road together. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Charlie Grace, and I've been doing RVing since around 2016, 2017. And I started probably a little different than most of you, and I think everyone's got their own unique story. And so I'm going to sort of jump into mine, and that way you can understand why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I think community is so awesomely important. Around 2017, my father passed away, and it was very traumatic, of course. And lots of things happened. But one of the things that I had to deal with, on top of course, my father's passing, was he was an immense collector and hoarder of things. His health had deteriorated significantly. And when he passed, we couldn't stay in the house to clean it and go through things. We had to, find a hotel, and I have a pretty large family, and we all went down to try to do all this stuff. And so I started to get hotel rooms, and 3 hotel rooms for like 2 weeks of time. Next thing you know, you're spending $3,000 in hotel rooms. I'm like, this is crazy. There's got to be a better way. So to make a long story short, I came up with this crazy idea of, we just need to get an RV, and we'll live in the RV in the driveway, and we'll clean the house, and we'll do this and we'll do that. And I think it was a justification in my mind also, because I'd always wanted to go RVing, and I was always an outdoorsy kind of person. I love to travel, and it was something that was always on my bucket list to do. So guess what? Grabbed some cash, went to my local camping store, found an RV, bought an RV, did not do the major research, did not really know exactly what I wanted, other than I know I wanted a motorhome, I wanted a drivable. It was one of those fantasy moments where you're like, sure, let's just get this, we'll figure it out. And within a week, I went to pick it up, and as I'm driving out, of the camping dealership, and I went straight to my father's house because I knew I had to get there to do some cleaning of sorts. And I noticed when I stopped to get some fuel that I'm missing something. I was missing a whole side panel that was to cover like the refrigerator section, the heating section. Somehow it fell off somewhere between Nashville and maybe Louisville. I have no idea. It was just one of those moments where you're like, oh, guess what? RV mess up number 1. So it was a very interesting journey, let's say, and used the RV for taking, like I said, getting all the stuff on my father's house. But once that was over, once that whole chapter and that situation was done, here I am with an RV, and I want to go places, and I want to do things. And I had a family, I had kids living at home, and I thought, oh, this is great. Let's go do this stuff. I was the only person in my family that really wanted to use it. There wasn't other people just jumping for joy going, oh, I always wanted to go to a state park. My kids are more city kids. They've never been outdoorsy kids. So it was just a real struggle to sort of get them out. So I thought, what if I find an RV camping club? What if I find something where I find my tribe, and I start searching for groups and, looking at different things. And I found some things online, and I tried them, and all of a sudden I joined a group. And the more I was there, the more I realized I truly was the youngest person in this group, which is fine. But it wasn't exactly what I was thinking of, and they weren't doing the activities I wanted to do. That sort of fizzled. So it was year 1, clean out my dad's house. Year 2, try to find a camping club or something to get involved in and meet some new people. By year 3, I realized I really didn't have the right RV to begin with, because, I impulse buyed, and a lot of times that's what happens. So I thought, if I just get a bigger one, I can fit the kids better. We'll do more things together. So guess what? Traded that first one in, got a second one. Now, Gotta tell you, this is one of those moments where you think you know what you want once again, and you get what you think you need at the time. And we can talk about sales. Oh my gosh, we can talk about RV sales till the cows come home. I got so many stories. But traded in, got the second one. Now it was a 30-foot Class C. Really loved it. Did a lot of great places. Took the kids. They were teenagers. That was really where we were, like junior high to high school kind of thing. And had a nice time. Had a nice time. However, as I got older, they really didn't want to go. And more importantly, they got jobs, so they've got to be home for jobs. They've got to do stuff. And that consistency is really important. So I wasn't living on the road full time. I was definitely having a house, definitely having a life, being the PTA mom and doing all the stuff for the kids for school, all those things I had to do. I was living for the weekends. I was a weekend warrior, like many other RVers out there in the United States and Canada. We were out there camping on the weekends and then driving back home, unloading everything, and going back to our normal everyday week. So when my youngest was getting into high school and I realized that it was never going to happen, I thought, you know what? I'm going to get a new RV. So this is RV number 3. And instead I got a van. I got a camper van because I thought no one's going to go with me now. What's the point of having this huge RV? No one's going to go with me. And that way I can go see the kids now who are going into college. It'll be a little easier to drive around. And more importantly, through this whole process, I've always had a dog. So when I got the first one, I had a little teeny tiny Chihuahua. Her name was Miss Precious. She came pre-named. I didn't name her. And it was her, I call it expensive doghouse on wheels. She passed away shortly thereafter. And the next thing you know, we had Rosie. And here's Rosie now. Rosie's always known RV and always been riding around with us doing things. I had to make sure that every RV I went into was what I call not only dog proof, but dog friendly. And most people who have RVs also have pets. So it makes a lot of sense that I would, look for something for her that's comfortable and air conditioned and temperature controlled and safe and all those kind of great things. So with this camper van, I thought, what a perfect thing for me and Rosie to travel and go see our friends and do things with. I love the van. Needless to say, I had the van for 3 years. See a pattern here? Are you seeing a pattern? I was at an RV show. As with most things that happen at RV shows, you see the latest and greatest and you start dreaming and thinking about different things. And I realized what my travel lifestyle is like, what I really need, and what my family needed too, if I had to take a kid with me or do something and that sort of thing. And I fell in love with this Winnebago Echo on a Sprinter chassis floor plan. I loved it. I thought, this is great. I have a son who's super tall, over 6'5". He could stand up in it without a problem. That's amazing. It wasn't massively big like the big RVs. It really was, honestly, a box van. I mean, that's what it was a box van. I thought, okay, it's the first time I'd ever have a Sprinter chassis. I thought, okay, here's a learning experience. All my van life friends have all these cool Sprinters. Maybe I could try this out and see how it works. I am now, let's see, 15 months into having this box van, and I'm loving it. I have traveled all over the country in this, just about. I haven't gone to the Pacific Northwest yet, or the far reaches of the Northeast and Maine. That's on my list. But I've had a blast with this box van. Every single RV has been very different, and I've used it for very different purposes. But at the end of the day, the people I met along the way, I purposely made a decision to go to different kinds of meetups, different types of groups of all over people over the country, of people I met, maybe YouTubers or things of interest, whether it be festivals like Schoolie Swarm or overlanding events or things like that. And I would meet people there. And from those events, I then started to actually, find a community and find some things. But what I was really missing, I know this sounds a little cliche, but I was really missing my girlies. Like, where are my ladies? Where are my amazing, rocking it, working it, doing the best, they can of entrepreneurship and holding a job and remote working and that sort of thing. Where are those ladies? Because that was me. I was looking for me, more of me out in the travel world, because here I am. I'm remote working, talking to different things. And now I'm becoming a YouTuber, and all of this, I'm becoming a YouTuber at the same time, not thinking about how that's going to impact everything else. But my thought was, if I shared my story of everything that I was going through, from travel to all the blunders, and boy, there was a lot of blunders, and all the mishaps and all the repairs and all the things out there as a solo woman, I thought that might give someone some encouragement or inspiration, or at least an idea that they're not alone. And I think that's what this is all about. So when I found RV Queens and I met Kate, we started talking about this. I said, I'm really, really excited to find more amazing women out there traveling, working, creating, inspiring, just doing amazing things on the road, whether it be solo women, women and families, women who are at different ages and stages of their entire life, whether you're retired or maybe you're retired and you're building something new again. How exciting is that? So I was so honored and happy when we struck up this friendship and started talking about things. And I admire people who can put themselves out there like that. And I thought, you know what? That's sort of what I'm doing too, though. I'm putting myself out there because I'm more than happy to share my story with people and answer questions. And this year, I've been at 23 events that I publicly spoke at about solo women traveling, people traveling with pets, essentially sharing my experience and giving tips and hacks all over the United States. What better way than to add to that by being a part and really helping to promote and also expand RV Queens? I'm so excited. So this is going to be one of those things I think we're going to grow on. We're going to do more events together. Some big changes coming up. We're always going to do for our platinum members, we're always going to do our Marco Polo circles, but we're also going to add some written chats for those people like me who may not have time to go through. As you can hear, that's my lovely travel partner, Rosie, back here shaking. She likes to be a part of everything. But we're going to add some different things for people who might not have as much time to go through Marco Polo. People who are working and they're like, I really want to be a part of this group, but I'm just used to texting. We're going to add some, WhatsApp chats and some other things. So we want to make sure that we're really able to accommodate every woman that wants to be a part of this. That's number one. Number two, we're going to have events. We're going to have happy hours and meet and greets all over the United States at different times. And we're going to promote each other. So we're going to come out with some stickers and some garden flags to put in front of our rigs when we're at campgrounds. So other women can know that we're part of the community and they can come over and say hi to us. So it's a nice way of getting to know other people and, just being friendly to all our queens out there. We're also going to start doing, here we go, ready for this? Some educational learning moments that we want to share. We've always had amazing women come on the podcast and share their stories and give us tips and things that they're learning about. But we're going to start recording these in a different way. So maybe we can learn as we start businesses and grow. For people who are entrepreneurs out there, what are the steps? What am I missing? Maybe you're a creative person, but you might be missing that financial component. Well, we want to be a resource to you. So we're going to package these in a way so that you guys can learn and also be a part of the RV Queens and share your thoughts and ask those questions. So that's going to be a new thing coming up on top of the podcast. So if there are things you're thinking about that might be fun to do in RV Queens and you've been a queen for a while, first off, thanks for being here. And if you haven't been a queen and you're interested, come on over. Be a part of the RV Queens community. We'd love to have you. And all you need to go is rvqueens.community. That's right. rvqueens.community. So we're changing the structure. As I said, the podcast is a part of it, but it's really just a part of the whole community. And that's what we're going to focus on this year. Until next time, I appreciate everyone here. Thanks for listening. Safe travels and happy trails. Thanks for tuning into the RV Queens podcast. I hope you found inspiration for your next adventure, on or off the road. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with us on social media at RV Queens Community for behind-the-scenes stories and travel tips. Until next time, keep your wheels turning and your spirit wild. We'll see you down the road.